Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, back at it with some fresh innovation, fresh out the laboratory. So we're actually going to start doing something really interesting with this channel. We're going to do a segment that's called Jank Day. Once or twice every single week, my team is going to build decks out of our scraps. Let me show you what I'm working with. I'm working with this random pile of stuff, and based upon the random scrap cards that you have, you are going to basically take those cards and build a deck out of them. Now, let me check this camera. In order for your deck to be a contender for this, basically to make this segment, it has to A, be consistent, B, actually work, and C, be able to win at least a single duel. So we're calling it Jank Day, and we're basically trying to showcase our deck building skills in the sense that we can build any deck out of anything. What we didn't want to do is like build a deck based on a name. Like you can't do an ABC to Strudel deck. You can't do a Pendulum Magician deck. You get what I'm saying? You can't do a deck that's based on names. What you can do is take engines or partial cores out of those decks, so long as the deck doesn't look too much like one deck. You feel me? It can't look like an ABC deck. So what I did was I looked through all my scraps and my spare cards, and I just slapped something together, just to showcase my deck building skills, of course. And what we're going to do at the end of this segment, after everybody on my team has built their little jank decks, is we're going to have a nice friendly tournament, duel all of our created decks against each other, and the deck that wins that is actually going to stay built. Every other deck is going to get taken down, and they're going to have to rebuild their decks. And every jank day, they're going to have to compete against the winning deck, that, you know, reigning champion. And until that deck loses, it can't be taken down. Once that deck loses, it has to be taken down and rebuilt into something completely different from what it was. So I think it's interesting, and I think it might catch the attention of our subscribers. If you guys think this is a cool idea, if this is something you might like, just let me know in the comment section below. But without further ado, we're going to hop into my deck profile. I have no name for this deck yet. It's just a deck, and it's good. For the monster lineups, we play 3 Zeks, 3 Yagin. I decided to take this engine out of the worm core that I had. I've been in love with worms for a long time. I like this because this deck doesn't really play like a heavy special summon like kind of mechanic. I could have made a crazy deck. Like I actually have this idea with Ascended of Thunder, Link Slayer, Orbital Hydralander, Malice Forces, Resonators. I had this whole idea with like special summon heavy, try to link and synchro and XYZ, but I decided to stick with my roots and just and my roots really are just control. I wanted to just build a control deck out of some jank stuff. So I like the Zex and Yagin combo. Yeah, it's very, very slow and it's easy to disrupt. You can just Ash Zex. Yeah, you can Ash Boss him, but the combo is really nice. What it does is just enables you to set yourself up to where basically now your monsters can't be destroyed by battle, and you get a free bounce, and it's really nice. If they happen to live, you get to resolve this crazy trap and get a lot of pluses. So we play basically like an 8 card, you can say, worm engine. And like I said, I wanted my normal summons to have value since I really don't special summon in this deck. So I felt like Zex was the best normal summon. Aside from Zex being the best normal summon, I think the next best one is definitely going to be Rocket. I'm just literally playing a partial Volcanic engine just to actually be able to Raigeki my opponent on his field. So in addition to that, we play 3 copies of Scattershot. So you're just literally using this. You're using the Volcanic Rocket to basically get the Blaze Accelerator and use the Accelerator to pitch your Scattershot to destroy your opponent's cards. That's the main. It's the main point of playing this engine, just to have fun and kill people. It's just something that I want to catch my teammates off guard with, and I want to see if I can actually resolve it. Because we can't actually play good cards per se. You can't actually play Solemn Strike. You can't play Solemn Warning. You can't play hand traps that are all new. Basically, you can't play any hand traps. You can't even play Maxi in your deck. That's some of the rules, and you can't play like really, really strong competitive cards. You know, can't play Kaijus. You have to main deck cards that aren't necessarily old, but that aren't competitive. So since I couldn't really play a lot of good cards that I just named, I wanted to play something that would give me an edge over my opponents, which are actually going to be my teammates. And honestly, you can't really play this engine if you're not playing Firestorm Guards, just because he enables you to resolve it more than once, because sometimes resolving it once isn't good enough. So you just play 2 of him. The reason why you didn't want to play like Volcanic Shell, because like I said in the beginning of this video, if you play a partial engine from different decks, you can't play so much to where the deck actually looks like that deck. You feel me? So I had to just stick with the 3 rockets, the 3 scatter, and then you kind of have to play him or the engine is just pointless because it just burns out so fast. Then we play 1 Worm King and 1 Time Wizard. Worm King is pretty awesome. He actually can just pop cards on the field. I wanted to be reactive. That's why I really wanted to play Orbital Hydrolander, but I couldn't really find a way to like get a lot of mills outside of Career Bandit and Reasoning. There wasn't like a lot of ways for me to mill stuff to the grave to get the names I need to special summon Orbital Hydrolander. And then Time Wizard is another one of my spicy techs. I really think this card deserves competitive play. Like, I've been wanting to make a deck where I can actually do Time Wizard Turbo or just like play triple Time Wizard, because I think he's a great card. If you call him right, he's a Raigeki. If you call him wrong, he'll kill himself in this deck because you don't really control a lot of monsters. So you're just gonna normal him, attempt, and then if you miss, you'll still just lose 1 monster. But if not, you know, you get to clear the board and you're free to swing, which is really nice. And that's gonna sum up the monster count. It's pretty simple, pretty small. It's also spicy. I like it a lot, especially the Time Wizard. I've been wanting to play a deck with Time Wizard for so long, like I said, and I feel like, you know what, for Jank Day, we're gonna go ahead and do that. And today is not Jank Day. I'm actually showcasing my deck because I wanted to get you guys' opinion and feedback on this. Because this is what I'm gonna play for Jank Day against my teammates, and we're gonna have at it with an all or nothing bout, and we're just gonna play all of our random crappy decks and see which one wins. But the trick is they can't actually be crappy. I say crappy because everybody who watches this video is gonna look at this and say this deck's trash. It's not meta. Who cares about meta? Starting for the spells, I think the core of Yu-Gi-Oh is really to have fun, and what we're doing here, my team, we're having fun, and we're also trying to appease our subscribers. So starting with the spells, we play 3 Foolish Burial Goods, 3 Magic Planners, and also 3 Forbidden Lance. I'll explain the spells once we finish. 2 Forbidden Chalice. I wanted to do 2 Forbidden Dress as well, but instead of the dress, I decided to play My Bodies because it's a bit more versatile and it hits a lot more cards. Where dress protects your card from being destroyed, but you can actually use this to hit other cards, like even Diagram on a monster. If your opponent has effects that destroys his own card. And then there's also like that this protects everything aside from your monster. This protects your back row as well, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm sorry. It does not protect your back row. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. I'm crazy and I'm really sleepy. But My Body, I just felt like was more versatile. I did want to play the dress because, you know, all the forbiddens, it looks beautiful, but I wanted to play better cards, so I chose My Body. I just thought it was a better card in general. And then the Metaphors Fusion to sum up the spell. So Foolish Burial Goods is here to dump your Tri-Blaze Accelerator or Blaze Accelerator Reload. And it's also here to dump your Metaphors Fusion, which is really nice tech. Whenever I play Foolish Burial Goods in any deck, I'm always playing this because it acts as an upstart that shuffles your deck first. The 3 Magic Planners make a lot of sense because I play quite a bit of continuous traps, and it's nice to have draw power and at the same time dump your reload and your Dead Fiendish Chains and turn off your lose 1 turn if you're actually going to special summon, like if you're going to make a rank 4 or something. So it's really, really nice, and I like it at 3. The 3 Lances, because I chose not to play any back row removal in my main deck, because I don't really know what my teammates are going to play, and I'm kind of scared that they're going to play like back row heavy deck like mine. So it would be like sometimes a Misty. I was going to play Misties because remember, I don't even know why I said Twin Twister. You can't play like good cards per se. You can't play like meta cards. So since Twin Twister kind of can be a meta card, you can't play it. You have to play Mystical Space Typhoon and go old school like with Dust Tornadoes and stuff. So I kind of like that. So because of that, because I'm scared that my teammates are going to play a lot of back row heavy decks maybe, I just wanted to play it safe and then just play the Lances instead of 1 Misty. The Misty could hit 1 card, but this just protects you from everything because you know, you play a very, very low monster count. Protecting your monsters is important, and it just lets you swing over back row for free. And the Chalice is because even though I play Fiendish Chains, I wanted to have more effect negation and also to be able to swing over problematic monsters because I don't really go into the extra deck hardly ever. So the main deck has to do a lot of work for me. So I need to be able to get the attack boost as well as using it to negate effects. And I explain My Body. So that pretty much sums up the spell portion of the deck. Then moving forward to the traps. This is the spiciest trap ever, and I freaking love it. You guys are probably going to be mad at me, but I'm playing 3 copies of Bad Aim. I just really love this card so much. It's insane. I think this is such a great trap card. It makes no sense why people don't play Bad Aim, but I really love it a lot. And like I said, you can't really play Strikes. You can't play Warning. You can't play Floodgate Trap Hole, Time Space Trap Hole. You can only play Bottomless Trap Hole, Torrential, Ring of Destruction, Compulse. You can only play a certain class of cards, and also the year that they came out matters too. So you really can't basically play like super new cards if they're good. If they're bad, like if it's, for example, like I said, Orbital Hydrolander is not an old card, it's new, but it's not necessarily a competitive card. Cards like Hackworm, you know, the stuff that came out recently in like Code of the Duelist, the little techie stuff like that. You can play that, but you can't play the actual good stuff. What you have to do is take stuff that people don't look at as good and make it viable. And it's not only a mental challenge, but it's interesting to see. But we play the 3 bad aim because, like I said, I really don't know what my team's going to be playing, but I want to be ready for them. And I feel like this is a great call because, no, it doesn't take the problem head on, but what it does is turn your opponent's problem for you into a problem for them. And I really like that because it's like you can activate, for example, let's say my opponent's playing some random like, I guess, let's say my opponent has the Wind Witch engine, right? And he special summons the Ice Bell. And then the Ice Bell brings out the Glad Spell, and then you set up the card effects accordingly, right? It doesn't matter which chain link. If you activate one, I'll activate Bad Aim to destroy the other one, and you can't make a level 7 or a level 8 synchro because I'm going to leave you with Ice Bell, and, you know, that's at that point it's over. That's just a great example. But I like Bad Aim a lot because it's going to help me to snipe problematic cards because it actually destroys any card, so it helps me to out things and play a bit more on my opponent's turn and kind of like screw their combos over. And then we play 3 Blaze Accelerator Reload. This trap needs no explanations. It's insane. And then we play 3 copies of Phoenix Chain. Since I couldn't play Strikes, this was an X-Specs option. And it's also food for Magic Planner. It's a really great trap. It just allows you to, like I said, with the Bad Aim, play on your opponent's turn. My deck is really reactive. It's just kind of like a trolly, teched out control deck, you can say. We play the 2 lose 1 turns because you rarely ever special summon. And even if you do, like, the requirements are basically you have to control no special summon monsters to activate the card. Once it's activated, you can control as many special summon monsters as you want. And the final traps, we play 2 W Nebula Meteorite. I could not play 3 because I did not want the deck to look too much like Worms. But this is an insane trap. I'll actually read this. Out of all cards that I did not read, I'll read this. Change all face-down monsters on the field to the face-up defense. During your in-phase, change all face-up light reptile monsters you control to face-down defense. Draw 1 card for each. After that, special summon 1 level 7 or higher light reptile type monster from your deck. So basically, if you resolve Zex and Yegin and your Accelerator Reload or any other traps are able to protect you for that turn, or your Forbiddens, you know, for example, basically Zex and Yegin will get flip face up, right? You're really going to flip Yegin, bounce a card, and then you're going to put them both back face down. Draw 2 for each of them, and then special summon your Worm King from your deck. At that point, you can flip Yegin, bounce another card. You can overlay them to a rank 4, or you can tribute both of them and the Worm King and destroy 3 cards. So it's a really, really powerful trap. I like it a lot. It's the closest thing I could get to broken. Because like I said, you can't play the really, really good cards. You can't play Ash. You can't play Droll. You can't play Maxi. Even though Maxi is an old card, you just can't do it. And that was to make it so like it's going to be harder for your deck to be good. For the extra deck, we play Crazy Box because I love him. He's one of my favorite rank 4s that I just really wanted to play. Another cool thing with this deck is I get to play cards that I've wanted to play anyways, but it's just like a lot of my decks, I actually take them to events and I want to be ready. So even my fun decks have to be competitive. And because of that, I can't really play cool cards like this. And then for the, you can say honorable mention, cards that didn't make the cut. Yes, I have a 2-card extra deck. I actually am still building this tonight. But the extra deck didn't matter because I never actually make it. It never comes up. If it comes up, my opponent literally has to do nothing to me because you just normal summon and never special except off of Yegin. But that's why you play just 2 rank 4s because virtually you make 1 a duel, and these are the only ones I want to play. You can play Baguska though and Tornado Dragon, all the generic rank 4s. They will come into my extra deck eventually, but honorable mentions is Mastroke, the Kagetokages. You could play 3. I was thinking about it. Torrential Tribute, Wing Blast, Compulse. This is supposed to be triple D prison. I forgot what I did with my other D prison in a 3rd lose on turn. I actually wanted to play T Tribute so bad, like so very badly. I couldn't find space. I'm still actually upgrading this deck, even though some people watching the video would say, dude, this deck's boo-boo, take it down. I like it. It's a good deck to me. I guess I'm just gonna name it Jank number 1, and every other deck that my teammates make will be Jank number 2, number 3, and we're eventually gonna get to Jank number 100 or something like that. But tell me what you guys think. If you think this is a good deck, I thank you. If you feel like, hey, 3 Stacks, you did a good job, I thank you. I hope I did do a good job. I like the deck, but I want to see what you guys think of it. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for Jank Day because it's gonna be really awesome and fun. Peace. Look at that. Look at that, man. Database.